Welcome to Super Talk, the podcast that scratches your superhero itch. Just two suburban dads nerding out over superhero stuff on the small screen and the big. Buckle up, people. Enjoy the ride. All right. Check. YouTube! Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Good show today. As usual, I always say we have a good show. One day I'm going to be like, all right, this is a shitty show. Turn it off now.
Bad episode coming up.
Yeah, bad episode coming up. But hey, watch the commercials. Thanks. All right, sir. Professor, you ready? Like a gentleman.
Let's go.
And 3.
Welcome to Super Talk, the weekly podcast dedicated to news and reviews of comic book media on the big and small screen. This is episode number 71. I'm your host, Brian Professor Pettis, and with me, as always, is my illustrious co-host, Titanium Tony Estrella. Titanium!
Professor!
Yeah, we had a...
exciting weekend, didn't we?
We did, I want to start the show off with a little shout out to our friends over at Mustang Sally.
Mustang Sally's.
So Mustang Sally, brewery here in the local Chantilly, Virginia area. We had our live podcast. They hosted us there for that, and they were just fantastic through that whole process.
Awesome time. They really did a great job. Rolled out the welcome wagon.
Yes, and I'm somewhat of a regular there. Every week I go there and play trivia with a bunch of friends of mine and of ours.
Other nerds.
Yeah, other guys who love trivia, and so we do that every week. Well, funny enough, they happened to have a special trivia this past weekend. It was Marvel Trivia Day, and I saw the sign for it. I'm like, well, Super Talk has to post. We got to have a team, and we got to show up. And we did, and I can't begin to tell you how nervous I was going into that whole process.
I'm going to be honest with you. There was a lot of pressure on us.
Yeah.
We had a lot of pressure on our shoulders.
Like, if we screw this up, it's Marvel Trivia.
If we didn't even post, it'd be tough.
We better, I literally was nervous. I was like, what kind of questions could they ask that I don't know the answers to? And I was nervous about it. If we finish in second to last place, we better shut the podcast down. Seriously.
It's done. It's over.
Over. Thankfully, we did show, and we were, very respectable finish. We finished in third place, and we did trophy, thankfully. Got in the top 3. And really, it was...
We lost to a team with 10 people in it.
12, I think it was.
Yeah, it was huge.
There were 27 teams.
Yeah, it was a lot of teams.
So it was the place was packed. So thanks again, Mustang Sally, for hosting this.
Absolutely.
And what a great thing to do on a Saturday. And the weather was beautiful. There was no reason to be inside at all other than Marvel Trivia.
Yeah.
And you brought the people out. But, man, there was a table of 12. We had the 27 teams. And it was basically the Titanium and the Professor... And Titanium's wife, my wife came halfway through, and we had a friend, Greg Vire, friend of the show. Greg Vire's wife,
big friend of the show.
Angie came and
he got caught up playing some silly game of golf that he won.
Yeah, but
won some tournament. Good for you, Greg.
It was just the Titanium and I, and literally we did very well at the end of the first half.
We were tied for first place at the half.
Tied for first, and we missed 2 questions that, if you know the answer to them, I'm like, man, you are really.
Yeah,
deep.
In deep.
What was it? It was what was Peter Quill's mother's name?
Peter Quill's mother's name, yeah.
Right. And
I thought it was Sarah or Lily, because I know Ego. I know he called her his water lily. That was her nickname.
Right.
But it was Martha.
No, it wasn't Martha. It was
Meredith.
Like, and we're like, well, yeah, we just don't know that one.
Yeah.
Right. And then, what was the other one we missed in the first round?
Captain America had a list of things that he missed.
And that's the one
while he was in Frozen. And what was the first thing that he wanted to catch up on out of his Frozen detox? And it was a TV show. Television show.
So if you remember from Captain America, the Winter Soldier, he has, when he's running the laps in the beginning of the movie with Sam Wilson, and Sam Wilson suggested to him, hey, Marvin Gaye, Trouble Man soundtrack.
Yeah, you got
everything you missed in one album. And he's like, okay, I'll add it to the list. So he pulls out his book, and he's got a list of all these things that he missed out on while he was frozen.
Thai food, Nirvana,
right?
A bunch of iconic shit.
Star Wars crossed out. Now it's Star Trek, and it's kind of funny. But at the top of the list was a television show, and again, it was just so. I mean, Titanium came up with a very logical answer. He thought it was MASH, and I completely agreed with him. But I said, is it something like I Love Lucy? And he goes,
I didn't think it was a comedy.
And it was I Love Lucy. So we got that one wrong. We're like, oh, well, you just, whatever. You make your best guess when you don't really know. And then we were tied for first, as Titanium said, after the first half. And we made a critical error in the second half. Two critical errors.
Well, one for sure. One definitely for sure. And the one question that we missed, we waged a lot of points on it. And
we thought it was a no-brainer. We thought we had it.
Because I kind of analyzed this afterwards. We know too much. Like we know way too much. The question was, what Marvel character had a love interest named
Vanessa Carlyle?
Vanessa Carlyle, and we were like, oh, Vanessa, that's the Kingpin.
Well, the first thing you said, I got it. It's Kingpin. I'm
it's
like,
Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. Vanessa was his love interest. She was the art gallery lady, and throughout that whole show, Vanessa.
And I was like, yep, absolutely, that's it.
We never considered that there are two love interests named Vanessa, and that is Deadpool's love interest is named Vanessa as well.
Vanessa Carlyle, who's copycat in the comics. She was portrayed by Marina Baccarin in the Deadpool movies.
Absolutely.
And I just didn't even give it a second thought because when Titanium said Kingpin, I'm like, oh, yep, no brainer.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then, so not only did we not even second guess ourselves, we thought we had it so confidently that we wagered the most points on that answer and got it wrong, which put us behind. So then we got every other question right, and we were in third place going into the final question, which we nailed. But everybody that was in the top three also got the question correct. And so we ended up in third place. But hey, good showing for us again for two neighborhood dads who geek out on superhero stuff. I think we did very well.
Yeah, of course we did very well. It was awesome.
Yeah, and again,
it was a lot of fun.
It's just two brains compared to many other brains. Right?
And it was a lot of fun. It
was a ton of fun.
Next time they do that at Mustang Sally's, the professor and I are going to treat to the first round. First round of beers on Super
so if you're listening or you support us and you're going to show up at the trivia. Hey, the first round of drinks is going to be on Super Talk next time. And we did speak to the owner, Eric, and he does plan on doing another one this year.
Yep.
He said maybe towards the latter half of the year, when right before Black Panther comes out.
Yep.
So, we're definitely going to be doing that again. But it was a ton of fun.
Awesome time.
Ton of fun. But it was really nice to test it. And frankly, there were several questions that if you were not geeked up like you and I are, you would never know the answer.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
And we were very, pleasantly happy that we could pull all those answers.
Yeah, I think the Shang-Chi, what was the creature in Shang-Chi, the faceless creature?
Faceless furry creature in Shang-Chi. Yeah. And literally, at least 3 times on Saturday, Titanium and I were just having a normal conversation about things in movies that we liked, and we literally had just talked about Trevor Slattery and his friend Morris, literally 5 minutes before they asked the question, and then the question gets, and we were just laughing
hysterically.
It was funny, but
good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. So thank you, Mustang Sally, for having us out. That was a lot of fun, and those of you who got our podcast by being there and may now be listening, thanks for coming out. We had a great time with you all, and hope you guys continue to listen and support us. It'd be great.
Yeah, thank you.
So there's 2 groups that we want to thank. And first, we want to thank the listeners that bring the show to you, and those are our patrons. Patreon.com/supertalk is how you become a patron. Look, these are the people that support the show directly. They're willing to donate $1 every time we come out with a new episode because, hey, we're making their day a little bit better. We're giving them something to listen to while they're in the car or while they're at work or whatever. Hey, donate $1, I'll become a patron of the show. So patreon.com/supertalk if you want to help support the show directly. The other way you support this show is through YouTube. So we do have a YouTube channel. If you're watching us or listen to the podcast on YouTube, great news. All of you have subscribed to our channel, liked our videos, and have watched our videos. We are now bumped up into a new level on YouTube. So thank you for all the support, YouTube watchers.
Thank you, YouTubers.
It's been awesome. And look, again, Titanium, I started this journey because we love doing it. We're going to do it anyway. We might as well record it and make it accessible to other people. But the fact that now we're getting some kind of support from you guys on the YouTube audience is fantastic. So thank you, YouTube.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, well, let's jump right into the review section this week. We actually delayed the episode today because, as we talked about last week, we expected a new trailer for Thor to come out, and as a matter of fact, it came out last evening. We got the full trailer for the Thor movie during the NBA Game 4 Eastern Conference game between Boston and Miami at halftime. First thing that popped on when halftime showed up was the new Thor trailer for Love and Thunder. And it delivered. I mean, it's a 2-minute long trailer. It was really, really amazing. Some of the scenes we'd already seen in the kind of the teaser, but some new stuff, right? Some new things that were enlightening.
Wow. Yeah, that trailer was awesome. I mean, Gore the God Butcher, the way he looks and the way he's portrayed, outstanding.
So that's the first view we got of Gore in full costume, Christian Bale in his costume, him speaking to the camera, talking about his mission and what he's all gods must die. The only thing that they think about is themselves, and he said all gods must die. We got to see the sword, the Necro sword.
The all black. Yeah, I think they're going to probably do a little more CGI on the sword because it looked very plain. It didn't really look like it was the Necro sword from the comics. I think they might, tweak that a little bit. But hey,
Taika Waititi hasn't finished the movie yet, so you got to give him some time.
Quote unquote, according to his social media account, it's nowhere near finished. And I'm like, really? That's kind of close, buddy. But yeah, he looked fantastic. A big controversy is, because of the images that came out before the trailer, his nose, in the comics, he doesn't have a nose. It's kind of flat. It's kind of like Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Voldemort, and everybody blew that up. I think they were trying to get away from that Voldemort look, and it works, man. He looks creepier than shit. He looks fantastic.
Everything's black and white in his presence. Everything's black and white except his yellow eyes, which is really cool.
I mean, I'm really excited about him. I hope he's an ongoing character. I don't think he will be. I think this is a one and done for him. But man, it looked awesome. It looked like a lot of fun too. It looked serious. It looked funny.
Well, it does look like, and this is what we really enjoyed about what Taika Waititi brought to Thor Ragnarok was a little bit of that, comedic kind of, we got to see a little bit of the comedic side of Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
He was allowed to kind of be a little bit funnier and some of the funnier dialogue. And so we're going to get some of that. Looks like in this, there's a scene where Thor's like, Mjolnir, and it's like floating towards him, and then it zips back and goes to Jane's hands, and then he finally realizes it's her. He's like, Jane? And she's like, what's it been, like a couple years? And he's like,
how crazy.
8 years, 7 days, 7 months, 6 days, if anybody's counting, right? And so he misses her, right? And so they haven't been together, so we don't have any insight into how she got the hammer, how she got, the Thor's powers and all these other things. And the funny way they start the trailers with Korg, grab your popcorn, kiddies. I'm going to tell you the story about, Thor. He was a god, and it's just, his accent is just so hysterical. And he's like, and becomes the mighty Thor. Well, hold on a second, and then there's another Thor. And then we got some more scenes from what we think is Olympus, where the Greek gods are. And Thor is ultimately captured by them, and the scene where he goes foof, and he's like, get out of your disguise, foof, and he foofs too much, and he's like completely naked, and all the girls on stage pass out. Yeah. It's just hysterical.
You flick too hard, damn it!
You flick too hard.
Russell Crowe looks heavy too. He doesn't look ripped like a god or anything. He looks like, true to the Greek mythology. This, kind of more bigger than life type of god, Zeus. I thought it looked fun, man.
Did you see the scene where Valkyrie's fighting Gore and she's got lightning bolts in her? So it looks like she ends up somehow getting Zeus's lightning bolts. So we'll kind of have to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with our levels here, but they look a little wacky. Like it's not even registering. I wonder if it's even being. That's weird. Well, we'll push on.
Do you want to pause and then check it out, and then we'll just resume?
Yeah, or start over.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Oh, yeah. It's there. It's there. We're good.
Okay.
I'm just going to...
Just resume, and you'll cut them together.
And we're back.
Back again.
Back again.
That's all right. Sometimes, you have technical difficulties. We've gone 71 episodes without anything like this, and we didn't want to have to re-record an episode, right?
No. We're all good. We're all good. It was showing up a little funky. It was a little weird.
So after this full trailer, it seems like we got a little bit more information about the plot and what's going to be happening. And it looks like they definitely took bits and pieces from different periods in the trailer and kind of cut them at different spots. So they go back and forth between certain periods.
It's very confusing the way they cut the trailer. I think it gets an overall tone to the movie. It's going to be very funny. It's going to be very serious at points. And I just can't get over Christian Bale. I mean, I just think he was absolutely stunning. I think he's going to blow people away with his performance. He's a hell of an actor to begin with. Natalie Portman, obviously a smoke show. She looks great. I can't wait to see where that goes. One of the scenes, the cool ass scene, is where she's fighting like a lot of the Greek gods, and she swings the hammer, and the hammer pieces fly off and like blow away some gods. Like you can see the streaks of them, and then they come back into the hammer to form the hammer again. I was like, oh my god, that's so badass.
So instead of throwing the hammer, you just throw the pieces of the hammer.
Yeah,
and
she
they come
swung
back.
the hammer, and a bunch of pieces disconnected from the hammer and went out and like knocked all these people down, like a lot of the soldiers that were attacking her down. And then they came back to form the hammer again. I thought, I said, oh man, that's cool as shit.
Yeah.
I just think the whole thing, the black and white aspect of it, of Gore the God Butcher, like when he's fighting people in that scene, he's on some kind of planet that he stabbed and was like breaking apart. I can't wait for this. This is going to be good. That was a great teaser.
And look, we're a mere 6 weeks away from this movie coming out. Can you believe it? 6 weeks. That's
and we
insane.
just got a full trailer.
Right.
That's got to break a record, right?
Yeah, that's insane. But I'm glad they're hyping it up a little bit and ramping up some of the promotions. And I'm sure, look, hey, the good news about the less time we have to kind of poke the bear on this movie and get everybody hyped up about it, they may not give us as much as they did with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They may not give away too much, so we may have a lot that's kind of kept...
all I know is that Gore is hunting gods, and he's got a vendetta against gods. I don't know why. I don't know any of the cameos in there besides Russell Crowe, which was excellent. But, we know Bast is in that, the Panther god, which was interesting. It looks like there's other gods that are there in attendance to some whatever it is. Who knows what it is? But it looks like
a kill box to me.
It sure, it kind of does, right? At some point,
if I'm Gore looking for gods to kill, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, he called them all to assemble in one place so he could take them all out at once. But I don't think that's the. I think definitely Zeus goes down at some point because we see Valkyrie with his lightning bolt fighting Gore with it. So,
that's what I mentioned.
Do you think Thor dies in this? Do you think they kill off Thor?
Boy, that would be huge. I don't even. I hope not, but it's possible. I mean, do you think?
I kind of have I don't know. Maybe it's just a feeling, but I just got this vibe. Like this might be his, like
last hurrah.
Last hurrah. This might be his send off, and then they're bringing in. Do you know if Natalie has signed any kind of long term?
I haven't heard anything about her signing a long term deal, and I thought Chris Hemsworth signed on for multiple pictures beyond because his contract was over after Endgame, and when he signed on for this movie, I believe he recommitted to the character for some period of time. God.
Fantastic!
I can't believe you mentioned that. I haven't even thought about that. This being possibly
it's out there.
Thor.
There's a theory out there that he is going to pass the mantle to the mighty Thor. There's also a rumor out there that Beta Ray Bill is in this. There's one scene. I think he slams the Stormbreaker down, and he changes into his outfit, and it's a wide shot, and it's like someone's missing from over here. Like, it's obviously a shot where 3 people are in the frame, but Korg and Thor are here, and then there's somebody missing to the far left. So there's a theory out there that could be Beta Ray Bill.
That'd be great if he were in it. I think Thor is such a...
Could they kill Valkyrie off in this?
I think that's more likely.
Because of the battle with Gore, the God Butcher?
I think that's more likely. I think Tessa Thompson might be done after this. And then, Thor would then be kind of compelled to take back the mantle of King of Asgard or whatever. But, man, Chris Hemsworth being gone, Thor the character being gone, and being passed on to either a Beta Ray Bill or a Mighty Thor that just seems way out there for me.
Wow.
I mean, that would be huge, but I
don't want to see that.
I don't wish for it at all. I love Chris Hemsworth. I think he's just done a fantastic job with this character, and I'd love to see him in more Marvel
movies. Forward to this movie. Looking forward. I mean, a lot of skeptics are saying that Phase 4 is kind of dead and dull. I think, Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness, kind of proved them wrong there. A lot of people mixed feelings about that movie. I know we did. We liked it a lot. We loved it, but it wasn't great. It wasn't like Endgame level or Infinity War level great. Didn't expect it really to be, but I think this is going to start setting the tone. I think they're going to get better and better, especially with Wakanda Forever.
And I think this trailer did exactly what it was designed to do. It got me excited about the movie, gave me a little bit more information about... I mean, you and I, since we had been looking into this, we knew that Gore the God Butcher was going to be in the movie. Wasn't in the original teaser trailer. It's more of a kind of a rebirth of the Thor character after the kind of the history of the end game, kind of what happened to him, becoming fat and getting back into his shape.
He said he went from dad bod to God bod.
Yeah, and they had that scene of him holding onto a rope that's tied to the end of the Milano, and he's like
holding on to the
playing
ship,
tug of war with the spaceship. It's great.
Yeah, I also like when Zeus flicked his clothes off the back sheen. We're definitely going to see Chris Hemsworth bare ass in this movie.
Yeah.
So ladies, get your popcorn ready and don't pee during that scene. But did you see the tattoos on his back?
Loki.
Rest in peace, Loki, and then the hammer. That was hilarious. So
it was his. It was Loki's crown.
Loki's thing, but it said above and between the 2 horns it said R.I.P. Loki.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it got me excited. I think.
Me too. I'm excited.
Again, I hope they just continue to hype it up a little bit. Please, if Beta Ray Bill's in it, save it for the movie. Let me find out then. Don't spoil it now. I mean, I'd love to see how and when and why that character shows up and all those other things.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some. I'm just assuming it just looked like that's just my guess. I haven't heard any rumors. I don't know anything, but I think there's a character there that's missing.
Well, we know they do.
It could be the Grand Master.
We know they do. We know Marvel does that. They did that with Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, there's clearly... They did that with Doctor Strange with the empty seats up there. Yeah. Yeah, so we know they do. They edit those trailer scenes to kind of take characters out that they don't want us to know about.
I wish Doctor Strange was edited a little bit more. I wish they had kept a lot of that from us.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, very good trailer. If you haven't seen it, it's out there on YouTube. But yeah, we're looking forward to this movie again. 6 weeks from now, we'll be going to watch it. So Titanium and I will be getting tickets for opening night for sure. I guarantee
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the news section. Got a lot of things that came out this week. The hits keep coming. So we talked about last episode, Marvel had Kevin Feige went on stage in front of the online advertisers to kind of talk about, this was a Disney event, but Kevin Feige did go up and talk about kind of what Marvel has in store for them for the remainder of the year so they can kind of get their advertising dollars in place. And ever since that event, more and more information has been leaking online about things that Marvel has coming. We talked about that particular day. They released a still photo from the Echo series that had begun filming. We got the new trailer for the She-Hulk series. So those things came out right away. But then there's been some other things coming out. Like every day we're getting a new thing now. And the first thing we got confirmation that they're making a Daredevil series for Disney+.
Hello.
Yeah. I mean, again, huge. Rumors about ever since we saw Charlie Cox in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Hello.
We were like, hey, is the character coming back? Where is he coming back? Where else is he going to be? All these other things.
Well, we had a feeling he's a lawyer, and it's a law show. We have a feeling he's going to be in She-Hulk,
and they somewhat confirmed that. Marvel basically came out and confirmed that they are working on a revival of the Daredevil series for Disney Plus. So Daredevil will be getting his own limited series on Disney Plus. Fantastic. Hooray, clap. I'm all excited about it. That's a character that deserves. He's so deep, has a rich history in the comics, plenty of, rogues gallery of
they've announced
great
the writers,
villains.
They've announced the producer, they've announced the executive producers. So they have writers for it. It's in the works.
Yeah, and they did also say that we will be seeing Daredevil in other Disney Plus projects before his limited series. So again, the biggest rumor that I don't know if it's a rumor, it just hasn't been confirmed by Marvel, is that he will be in the She-Hulk series. Being a lawyer, being in New York, where she practices, it just makes all the sense in the world.
How do you eliminate? How do you not have that in there?
Right.
That would be weird. Now you're talking like obviously weird move by Marvel if they don't do that. So.
Well, and we also believe, we don't know, but we believe he will be in the Echo series that'll be coming to Disney Plus next year. Echo and Daredevil were lovers in the comic books, so they have a relationship, a past relationship in the comic books. What a great way to reintroduce that character, and I do believe, as much as Alaqua Cox did a very good job with that character in the Hawkeye series, carrying a series on her own, being a deaf actress, is going to be tough. But to have a Charlie Cox kind of by her side to kind of bring that series along it'll be awesome. And so I'm hoping we're going to get some formal confirmation of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think her being deaf has anything to do with not being able to carry a whole series. I think the lack of knowledge of that character. It's definitely a C character. Would you agree?
Oh, for sure.
She's a C character.
No, but the other thing is she's a brand new actress as well. She's never acted.
Yeah, agree.
And so I'm just saying, somebody of her experience in that series is really going to, for people who really don't know that character.
To carry that series, you're going to have to bring in some heavy hitters. You're going to have to bring in Kingpin.
He'll be back. Kingpin will be back for that, I think.
Maybe even introduce an Elektra. Something exotic to bring in some B, C, A, maybe 1A or 2 characters to make that series worthwhile. Because right now, I'm not excited about it. It's like Miss Marvel.
But we know not. We all in our defense, we know nothing about it.
No. We're just speculating.
We don't know what the plot is.
Nope.
We don't know.
Just speculating.
Why she's having her own series, or what her mission is, or anything.
We could find that out in some of the shows before that.
Right. Yeah. So we'll figure that out. But that great announcement. I'm happy for Charlie Cox. We've been. The whole internet and everybody's been talking about, you got to bring this guy back, and we were happy to see him in Spider-Man, and I'm just glad he's going to be moving.
He's got to be ecstatic. Oh. Now, this next one, Professor, I have not heard.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So Deadpool has officially been greenlit by Marvel. So that
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3. As we've heard, Ryan Reynolds has been very vocal in the fact that he's been working on the script with his co-writers. And they're trying to finish that up, and he's like, hey, we're just kind of trying to get the word out that we're still working on this. It's a project that's in the works. Typically
when a project is greenlit, the executive producers, aka Feige, has seen the script, or at least a majority of the script, and believes in it to the point where it's like, yeah, that's good enough to go. Let's get it going.
Right. And so this is when they'll assign a director, they'll assign, production dates, they'll assign a theater release date eventually, and those types of things. But yes, it's officially been greenlit, and that's a huge announcement for Marvel to basically tell us all, look, we all knew that this was something we planned on doing, something with the Deadpool character. We're telling you officially, it is a go. We've assigned a budget, and people are now are working on this full time.
Give me Ryan Reynolds. He's a smoke show. He absolutely is a smoke show. But give me Ryan Reynolds. He's hilarious. He just exudes greatness on the screen. He's fun to watch. Everything he does is creative. Hell, I love those. What are they? Not Cricket. They're his mobile unit. What's it called? his mobile.
Oh yeah, the mobile phone company that the ads that he does for his mobile phone company. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah. It's not Cricket.
It's Green something, isn't it? Green
I
something.
Can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
God damn! I almost want to switch to that phone company just because of him.
Yeah. Look, we anticipated this, but the fact that we have an official announcement that says it's a go, thumbs are up, we're moving forward. Hey, people are now hired to and being paid to work on this production. So that's fantastic.
Great stuff.
Another piece of good news, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the new roller coaster at Epcot in Disney World in Orlando, Florida, opens this Friday, Memorial Day weekend. It opens to the public this Friday. For the past month, they have had some people riding the ride. They did a period of time where they had some internet influencers and some other individuals in the press, gave them the opportunity to ride it. And then they opened it up to season pass holders at Disney, and they were able to ride it. And then Disney cast members were able to ride it. And then they had a friends and family thing.
Yeah. You can YouTube it, and there's
there's already ride-through videos on the internet about it, right?
It looks so good.
But my daughter Kendall, as we mentioned last week, she is working in Disney World this summer as part of the Disney College program. She's working at Epcot, and as a matter of fact, she's working in the retail shops right around the Guardians of the Galaxy
She's
area.
a big fan of the show. She watches the show.
Huge, absolutely.
So can I make a request? Hey, Kendall Pettis, please, can you freeze dry a package for me and put one of those ice cream, the Mickey Mouse ear ice creams in there, freeze dry it, and then mail it up to me? Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kendall. You're the best, sweetie.
She officially started work on Sunday, and her first day of training was Sunday, and part of her training was to ride the new ride. So she got to ride the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind roller coaster twice on her first day of work at Epcot.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, she did a video review for us.
Excellent.
And we'll be splicing that into the YouTube video. So I don't know if you'll put it in here or you'll put it at the end, but we'll figure that out. And
you know what? I think I'm going to put it right here. Enjoy this little review.
Hello, everybody. I am Brian's daughter, Kendall, and I have the great opportunity of working in Disney World this summer. And today I started my training, and I got a special preview of the new Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind ride. I have to say, Disney has done it again. One of the most insane, spectacular rides I've ever done. Basically, the plot of the ride is that Nova Corps is kind of telling us Earthlings that we are very similar to the people of Xandar, and how they wanted us to have the opportunity to kind of be able to see what their world is like, but in reality it would take us about 2 million years to get there, even if we were traveling at the speed of light. But Nova Corps has created the technology of the cosmic jump, which allows their ships to jump kind of through time passages, which makes the trip a whole lot easier. So basically the theme of the ride is that you are jumping through things. And so we got to go through the fast pass line today. And you walk into the first queue. The room is super cool, dark, very space-esque. The ceiling is a whole space, really cool. So we skipped through all that. Funny thing is, Terry Crews is one of the main guys that's telling you what's up and what's going on. He is a Nova Corps pilot, found that hilarious. You get into the first room, Nova Prime kind of explains to you the whole story thing, and then you go into a second room, and then, one of the Celestials from Eternals kind of takes the cosmic jumper, the whole system. The power goes out, the room changes. The Nova Corps calls the Guardians, Star-Lord, Gamora, Rocket, Groot, all of them. They're on this little screen. They're like, what do we do? What do we do with them? We need to go get the cosmic jumper thing. How do we do this? And then Rocket's kind of just like, why don't we take all these people, put them on the Nova starships, and they can fit through the little loophole real quick, and they can follow the Celestial and go get it. And then basically you get on the ride. I mean, one of the awesomest things I've ever done. There's a selection of 6 songs that you can get chosen with. I got September my first time. So much fun. The chairs basically spin back and forth. There's a whole plot you're going through. Screens everywhere. It looks like the Celestials like reaching out at you at one point. I mean, 10 out of 10. Disney's done it again. Whole dark room roller coaster experience. Super excited for everybody to kind of have the opportunity to ride it, and 100% recommend. Lines are going to be horrible, but in the end, 100% worth it. So much fun. So yeah. If anybody comes to Disney, I'll be at Mission Space, Test Track, and Creations, the new gift shop. So come see me.
Excellent. That was awesome.
That was
Thank
awesome,
you, Kendall.
And Kendall, thanks for that.
Awesome.
But
She's a natural, by the way. She's an absolute natural on the camera.
Well, she got nothing for me, so I mean that's all her.
Maybe you should rethink your host. Your Titanium might be out of a job.
No
what a
question.
natural! Thank you, Kendall. That was brilliant. Thank you so much.
Got
Awesome.
more talent in her little finger than I have in my entire body. But
excellent.
Anyway, so big exciting weekend for them. The place is going to be packed. From what I understand, they're going to be running that ride very similarly to how they ran Rise of the Resistance when it opened in Hollywood Studios. It's going to be on a boarding group level. So you're going to have to get to the park when it opens. And when the park opens, you go on your app and you sign up for a boarding group. And then it tells you when to come back to ride the ride. It's going to be so hard to get on that thing for the first couple of months.
That's like Ride of the Resistance. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be really tough. But I'm glad she got to ride it a couple times. And she said it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So you saw her review. It's just great. So
yeah, YouTube will see her review.
Absolutely.
Podcast people are shit out of luck.
Yeah. Well,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Trust me.
All right. Next piece of news. The executive producer of The Boys had something to say about the opening scene of the show.
He said the opening scene is the wildest thing they've ever filmed.
That's saying a lot.
Granted, remember season 1 when A-Train ran through his girlfriend?
That was like the first
Huey's
episode.
girlfriend. It was the first episode. That's what I was like, holy shit, I'm hooked on this show. That was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like a speedster ran through a human and they imploded. They just absolutely was putting a blender.
Yeah.
They were putting a blender.
Did she have like a cell phone in her hand and then like he ran through her and the cell phone just like slowly dropped to the ground? What was there something in her?
Huey was holding hands.
Holding hands.
He ran through her so fast that he looked down and her hands and her arms were completely severed and he was just holding her hands with no body.
Right. That's right.
And blood was all over him. And he said later in another episode, he goes, man, I ran through that bitch so hard I swallowed her molar. That's just sick.
So the executive producer came out and said the opening scene of this season is the wildest thing they've ever filmed.
We're going to cover the shit out of that, people. It's June...
Next week?
6th?
June 5th or 6th. I can't remember what day it
Ooh-wee.
is. Literally, so, that week we have Ms. Marvel premiering and The Boys premiering in the same week. So
it's going to be awesome.
That'll be a great first episode after those two come out. But yeah, The Boys, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping...
Awesome.
So Amazon has been very good about this. I'm hoping they drop 2 episodes to start, or maybe the first episode's a longer episode, because they've done that in the past with some of their series.
How crazy is this? Disney Plus is dropping 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi this Friday. They never do that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's a trend. That's awesome.
That's big.
Yeah.
We'll be reviewing The Boys for sure when that comes out. So Wakanda Forever, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, wrapped principal photography. So that movie has basically, it's in the can. They're just going in the editing room. I'm sure there's going to maybe some reshoots down the line or whatever. That movie's coming out this fall. But it's wrapped. It's in the books. What came out this week were a couple of things. First, we got some concept art of the Namor character. Yeah. So we got to see Namor in the costume. Very comic book accurate. Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
With a complete twist.
Yes.
Which is very unusual from his origin story of Atlantis. He's half human, half Atlantean, blah, 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 blah. And we've heard rumors. I mean, Tena Huerta, the guy that they casted to play Namor, is a Mexican actor. And they've casted a tremendous amount of other supporting actors that are Mexican as well for this role. To be portrayed as Namor and his supporting cast, which now we're learning that his whole origin or backstory could be Mayan and Aztec based, which is really unusual. Complete departure of, somewhere off of Europe. Atlantis sinks into the ocean, or maybe that has still something to do with it. But I think it's fascinating how they've twisted this, and it's been confirmed.
They basically confirmed that he is going to be of South American origin,
yes.
Right? So they're saying he's from South America, from Tenochtitlan, I think is the name of the city. That kind of group of people,
Mayan, Aztec,
splintered off, and their island that they lived on became submerged, which is kind of different than the kind of story of Atlantis from the comic books, but. He's going to be of South American descent, and that whole group is going to be from South American descent.
Yeah. So his whole costume is going to be that kind of vibe, that Aztec vibe.
And supposedly they worship a jaguar god.
Yeah,
very similar to how the Wakandans worship Bas, the Panther god. They worship a jaguar god. In the South American kind of region.
How cool is that? Yeah, I mean, what a tie-in, right?
Yeah.
And we know this because the wrap gift for Wakanda Forever was this cool-ass hoodie, sweatshirt, purple sweatshirt with Wakanda Forever logo and the Marvel logo, and then some Wakanda writing on the back, and also a hat. And on the hat was a symbol, the Jaguar God, Aztec Jaguar God symbol, on the brim of the hat, or the top of the hat, which is really cool looking. So
was it as cool as this logo?
Not as cool as the Super Talk logo. Hell no.
Right.
There's not much.
But it was still a cool logo. I mean, a cool logo.
Ours is up there with Nike, iconic kind of branding logo type. But yeah, I mean, it was badass. I love this twist. A lot of people are like, I think it's weird, whatever. You don't want to follow Aquaman.
Well, I think that was what they struggled with. They're like...
Okay, let's get something straight, people. Namor came before Aquaman. Namor was written way before Aquaman.
Namor, the soccer player?
Namor. Namor was in the comics way before Aquaman. So DC kind of pinched the Namor character, right?
So, I mean, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
The Namor character is one of the... I'll say the earliest characters that ever premiered in a comic, and they basically created this character from scratch. And DC did create their version of Namor and called him Aquaman.
Yes,
and took the Atlantis.
Took that he was a princess,
a prince.
Prince. A mother was princess, half human.
Yeah,
everything they stole right from Marvel. I mean, so people get it straight. He was first.
This is where DC kind of beat them to the punch here.
Absolutely,
they used this character way early and
very successful.
And Jason Momoa did a fantastic job with that character.
One of my favorites.
Yes,
one of my favorites.
Marvel had to distance themselves from DC,
Correct.
So they're like, we're going to do our own version of an Aquaman,
and to bring in a whole ethnic group of viewers by doing that, brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's spectacular.
Absolutely brilliant. He's got the cool ass wings on his ankles. I mean, it's a blurry kind of photo that's out there. If you search it, it's very blurry, but you can kind of get the hints of Aztec gold.
Titanium's been on the dark web again.
Oh man, he's one of my favorite characters. I mean, I'm definitely all in on this guy. And the fact that he's Mexican and that kind of a background, I think it's going to bring a really cool vibe. One of the most anticipated. Now, rumors is that Ray Wilson, Ironheart,
Riri Wilson?
Is it Riri Wilson?
Riri
Wilson.
Yeah.
Ironheart. She goes to MIT. She creates this machine that can find or locate vibranium. So she's starting to look, and I think that's what causes the big conflict. I think we're going to see her in this. Definitely.
Well, we know she's in it, right? Because
they were filming at MIT.
They were filming at MIT, and
Letitia
Wright
got Siri, right?
Yeah, Siri.
She got hurt during that filming up in MIT. So yeah, I think it's going to be badass. I mean, they're going to bring in a lot. What's going to be very interesting is we know that they honor Chadwick Boseman tremendously in this. They do him right. The whole movie is a testament to tribute to his. How they reveal that. We know he's not going to be CGI'd. We know there's not going to be a stand-in. How do they do that? Like, how do they... I hope, and this is just my feelings, people, don't send hate mail or anything. I hope they don't spend the whole movie honoring him and not move the story forward.
I don't think they will.
Namor needs a lot of time.
I think it'll be a very quick thing that they do up front.
I don't mind 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right. I think it's something they do very early in the movie so that we can kind of move on. But
I know Siri will wear the armor. She will wear the Black Panther armor in this.
You know that for sure.
I'm calling it right now. Put me on the record.
Okay.
Put me on the record that
Shuri is going to wear the Black Panther.
She will wear the armor, or she will wear the Black Panther suit in this movie.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of questions yet to be answered about that. I do believe we are hoping to get a teaser for that when Thor: Love and Thunder hits the theaters. So that is what they're talking about now, that we will get our first teaser trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever around the Thor: Love and Thunder release time in early July, which would be fantastic. Look, I trust in Ryan Coogler. He knocked it out of the park with the original Black Panther movie, and the tragic death of Chadwick Boseman really threw him for a loop, but I trust that he knows what to do with this culture, the Wakandans, and he's just done such a great job.
It's definitely in good hands. The project's in good hands, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think they've done a lot of rewrites. The story has changed quite a bit, but I think he will do them justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got another piece of news here that looks like Agatha House of Harkness is being pushed a little bit, or at least it's going to be falling a little bit later in the schedule than we thought. So probably not going to be premiering until late 2023, early 2024 timeframe. So maybe the Halloween 2023 kind of Christmas timeframe maybe next year.
Wow, good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Halloween would be perfect for this.
Yes, but it's definitely going to be happening later next year.
2023, that would be great. Launch.
Yeah, we haven't even heard any rumors about them starting a filming schedule or anything else. So many of the other Disney Plus programs have either already been filmed or are in the process of filming. Our next news item here talks about Ironheart is going to begin filming in Chicago very shortly. We know...
Well, there's rumors that they've seen them filming in Chicago. So
that's already in.
Yeah.
Right? We know they've been filming Secret Invasion. We know they've been... She-Hulk's in the can. Ms. Marvel's in the can. They just started filming Echo, Ironheart, and that we do believe, from what we've been told, that the Armor War series is also going to begin filming soon.
Excellent.
So all of these are now kind of starting, and again, so having Agatha House of Harkness, no rumors or anything about when that's going to start. So I do believe that would be kind of more of a tail end next year series.
That's great. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into our topic of the week this week, and so this week we alluded to this a little bit last week, but. We saw John Krasinski portray... Oh, by the way, this is brought to us by our friends over at Studio GG Studios.
Studio GG Studios, home of the Man Band, corner of the cob. Gentlemen.
Guys, thank you for your support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go
thank
check
you guys
them out.
for everything you do.
Studio G's been great.
The graphics, the promotions, the Guerrilla Street marketing from those gentlemen have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. And a shout out to Peyton St. Laurent. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Great fan of the show, and always sends me great questions, and we're in constant contact. He's a great supporter.
Fantastic. Thanks, Peyton. So Fantastic Four predictions. That's our topic of the week this week. So we saw John Krasinski in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Fan delivery, the fans had cast John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic forever, wanted him to play this role. He had openly lobbied to play the role. Finally, the dream came true in Doctor Strange. He did play the role, albeit very shortly. It was a very short-lived portrayal of Mr. Fantastic, but everybody thought he did a great job, and he played it well, and he spoke the part, and he kind of knew what he was doing, and he did the character justice, right? So now the question then is, well, does this mean he is going to be playing that role in the Fantastic Four movie? So is this kind of a precursor to his real casting as Mr. Fantastic? Or my question is, does it mean it's highly likely that he's not going to be Mr. Fantastic because of what happened in Doctor Strange? There's been a lot of rumors around who's going to be directing this movie. John Watts, originally pegged to helm this as the director, decided to step down and said he needed to take a break from superhero movies. We don't have a director for this film yet. We know that Disney has come out and openly committed that they will be doing a casting announcement for Fantastic Four during Comic-Con this summer, which will be on stage in Hall H.
That's in July.
That'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
So the question is, A few questions, Titanium. Let's talk about it. What's the future of John Krasinski in this project? Is he going to be Mr. Fantastic? Is
Possibly directing?
Potentially. There's been some other casting rumors out there and other directing rumors out there. So what? Let's talk about John Krasinski specifically. What do you think his future of the project holds?
Well, on the table are, one, he plays Reed Richards again from another multiverse, another planet.
He's portraying the role of Reed Richards.
Reed Richards.
Right.
And two is they pull him into behind the camera to direct it. He's a fantastic director. We've seen
Quiet Place and Quiet Place 2.
Brilliant. Did huge numbers in the box office.
Absolutely.
Great movies. So he's got an eye for that. So,
and then there's the question is maybe he does both. Maybe he's the director / star of the film, right? He can act and direct, and that is a possibility.
So my theory is I would lean more towards directing. I think you need a younger cast for Fantastic Four, because you got to think Fantastic Four is a franchise. They could go to Phase 5, Phase 6, Phase 7. I see Fantastic Four in the next 10 years being a prevalent movie in the MCU's quill. You know, like a...
But I somewhat disagree about this character specifically, because Reed Richards is not a young person and never has been a young person in the comics. And the biggest mistake that Fox ever did was try to make this cast young. Cast an actor like Miles Teller in the role of Reed Richards was a enormous mistake.
Although I can't wait to see him in Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah. But that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
So I believe this particular character needs to be an older actor. Now, not old. Now, somebody like John Krasinski, what is he, in his late 30s, early 40s?
Oh, he's got to be in his 40s, dude.
That's what I'm saying. But he's got to be early 40s.
Early 40s? Maybe mid 40s?
Okay, but I'm saying you got to have somebody, because Reed Richards is theoretically the smartest person in the world, right?
Yeah.
And you know, he's an incredibly learned scientist, been doing this for years. You can't hire a young actor to play that role. It's got to be somebody older. I'm not saying old, but older.
Get it. I see where you're coming from. I see him behind the camera.
Now, could he marry a younger Sue Storm? Absolutely. So, I don't know how old John Krasinski is, but let's say he's 42. Could Sue Storm be 32? Absolutely. Could you have a younger actress playing his wife? Absolutely. And that would definitely kind of ease, those characters moving forward. But I do think Reed Richards needs to be on the older end. I would hate to see them hire an actor in his late 20s, early 30s, because this role needs somebody older in it. I just think for the Reed Richards role, they need somebody older.
You might have something there. The Jack Ryan series.
How do you get gray hair on the side of your head if you're in your 20s, or 30s?
Jack Ryan is coming to an end. He's got one more for that series, and they're going to close that out with him. I don't know. I see him behind the camera, but you're right. He could be both. He could be. That's a lot, though, man. There's no better way to burn out a great director or actor than put them in their first big blockbuster Marvel movie. And there's so much on his shoulders, so much writing. They gotta get Fantastic Four right.
I think that he could play that character for 10 years, no problem, and wouldn't blink an eye. And that's just me about him. Frankly, as much passion as he has about the character and as much lobbying as he's done to play the character, I'd love to see him get a chance to really play the character, because we only got to see him for 15 minutes in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and then he was ripped to ribbons.
And he reached a very unlikely demise. But I'd like to see what he could do with the character in a full movie. And I think he deserves it, because I think he looks the part. He played the part well.
Yeah. There's a reason why fan casted him in that role. I mean, he's fantastic. He's perfect for it.
Yeah.
I would think that they would want to go just a little bit younger, somebody that would have enough energy to last another 10, 15 years of doing the character in these movies. But, I got nothing against the man. I just think he would be a better director. and put somebody else in the spot.
And there's another actor out there who's been linked to another role, and potentially both roles at the same time. Bryce Dallas Howard has been rumored to not only be tagged as a potential director for this film. So Bryce Dallas Howard, you'll see her in a couple weeks in the Jurassic World kind of culmination movie that's coming out.
Ron Howard's daughter, very prolific actress. Actually, great director.
She's
did a lot of Mandalorians.
Mm-hmm. Several Mandalorian episodes for Disney, so she's got a track record of doing work for Disney. Is very well thought of in the Disney realm. So tagging her as a potential director makes a ton of sense. But there's also rumors that they may be tagging her for the Sue Storm role, and I don't see that at all.
No,
I just don't see that.
I agree.
A lot of people are putting fan art together of her as Sue Storm. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I mean, and again, you're talking about she's not a very young actress by any means, but
fans have already casted Emily Blunt as Sue Storm.
Well, that was the dream, right? Is that John Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt?
They already have the chemistry.
As obviously. We saw in A Quiet Place, they have great chemistry, and they're married, obviously, so that makes it easy as well. But she openly came out and said she didn't want to be in superhero movies, which whether that's lip service or not, we don't know. The one thing that I saw this week, which was very interesting, so movie studios do this quite often. They hire third-party firms to do market research for them. And they put together a survey that they sent out to a bunch of fans and theater owners around the country, asking their opinion and how strongly they felt about certain projects that Marvel had coming up.
Like the Moon Knight project. I saw that survey.
And on the survey, they had the image right next to the Fantastic Four movie was the image of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt that a fan had made, but they used that image in the survey. And I'm like, why would Marvel or Disney use this in their survey if they never planned on casting Emily Blunt in that character? That was very strange to me. So I think that's still quite a possibility, especially if John Krasinski ends up being Mr. Fantastic. I think Emily Blunt being Sue Storm.
I can't see anybody else being Sue Storm if it's not Emily Blunt, with him as Reed Richards.
The other rumor out there has been Jennifer Lawrence potentially taking on that role. That was somebody else who'd been rumored to play Sue Storm. I don't know. But look, I mean, I think they've got a big announcement, right? In comic, and I think they're going to hold this very close to the vest. We're not going to find out till July. And in July, they're going to say, here's the director, and here's the actors playing the roles. As far as the other roles out there, of the Human Torch and the Thing, some of the rumors that are out there are good ones, and some of them are just like, are you kidding me? Like, Seth Rogen is the Thing. I don't see it, dude.
No,
I don't see it at all. I mean, they're talking about him playing the Thing, and then like, okay, you want to bring some comedic element to the film, maybe, but the Thing is a badass.
Yeah.
You need somebody who's a badass playing that role.
Yeah.
Somebody who is that is a known tough guy on the screen,
and a good voice actor.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because it's going to be a ton of CGI, right? You know who I thought of who would act, as a matter of fact, be fantastic in that role?
Who?
Mike Coulter.
Oh, wow.
Luke Cage.
Yeah.
He would be
killer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because he's a badass.
Yeah.
And he,
great voice.
Yeah. It's like, it's clobbering time. He could do that,
Shit.
Oh my God. In a minute.
Yeah.
So they gotta find somebody who is and you know what? This is where like maybe one of those, we've seen some of the professional wrestlers out there have jumped into the acting gig. We got obviously John Cena, and The Rock, and Dave Bautista. These guys have moved on, and you get one of those guys that's got some, acting chops,
popularity with the wrestling, that whole clique and that whole crew. Bring it to the movie theater. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe they hire one of those guys who's just a badass and can act a little bit, or enough. And I mean, they act in their job. I mean, why not? And give them a shot. I think that would be kind of cool. But the Human Torch, I think that's going to be a big one. there's been a lot of people rumored to play that role, and I think
Zac Efron.
Yeah, and
a ton.
I think the fans nailed a lot of this early on. Zac Efron would be fantastic in that role.
He'd be great.
And he's come out openly and said, I would love to be in a superhero movie. Yeah. I would love to be in it. So who knows? I have a feeling all these decisions have already been made, but they've been so secretive about it, and they're keeping it from us. And, all the industry insiders know nothing, and I think they're doing it on purpose.
I'm going to make another bold statement here, and you can put me on the record. You ready for this? Titanium? I'm going to pull this out of my ass. I think we're going to get some kind of reference to Doctor Doom in Wakanda Forever in an end credit scene.
That would be huge. And I had the perfect casting for Doctor Doom, by the way. Don't you remember who I mentioned who would be a great Doctor Doom?
Who'd you say?
So we talked about, it
Dr.
seems
Doom?
like they've hired every actor from Game of Thrones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Jaime Lannister?
No.
Uh-huh. Who?
Littlefinger.
Oh, that'd be sick.
The guy who played Littlefinger in the Game of Thrones franchise would be a fantastic Doctor Doom.
So the only reason I say that they are going to reference him, not necessarily show him, or he might.
So it'll be like a Thanos reference that we got at the end of the Avengers movie.
Correct. Either in the comics, he had some lady that was his top general that dealt with all the political issues and from wherever he's from. I think we're going to get some kind of reference, if not him, some kind of reference. And the reason why I say this is because, again, on the dark web, I read somewhere that someone saw...
Latvia, right? Is it Latvia, Latvia or something like that? Yeah.
Von Doom or Von...
Latvia,
yeah.
I think.
That someone has seen a rendering of the Doctor Doom armor that they're going to be using. And they said it is off the charts sick. And they've seen it, and it is verified that it is a legit rendering from a reliable source. So I'm thinking that what a great way in an end credit scene from Black Panther to introduce or at least reference him in some way leading up to their announcement. They're going to announce the casting in July, leading up to that for next year.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be awesome.
I'm pulling it out of my ass.
They got to bring
it on the record.
He's one of the greatest villains ever to be in the Marvel comics ever. Is Doctor Doom. You got to bring this, and you got to make him real, and you got to make him hateable. You got to make him smarter than everybody, and just he's got to be the villain of villains.
Completely multi-dimensional character with very deep facets.
But it could be very similar to the end credit scene we got in the Avengers movie, where we remember at the end of that movie, we saw the Infinity Gauntlet open up, and we saw a hand go in it, and it picked it up. He goes, "I'll do it myself."
Yes.
Right, and just something like that, a quick 20-second
to light the fuse of the bomb that will be Doctor Doom, because he will be huge.
Yeah,
I don't know, just a theory.
All right. Well, you heard it here first from Titanium.
Anything else, Professor?
No, that's it.
Awesome. I hear the bell ringing. Let's close out the show.
All right. Well, that's it for us this week. We'll be back next week for more Super Talk. To get in touch with us on social media, hit us up via email, supertalkpodcast@outlook.com or @supertalkpod on Twitter. Until then, stay super, everyone.
And we're out.
Thanks again, YouTube. You guys have been killing it. We
Awesome.
really appreciate all the support.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Much love. Thank you so much. I don't know. Watch a commercial, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I'm just saying.
Black Viper. Everyone likes this game. Haters gonna hate. And I know you can't wait to see the Black Viper. Round and round she goes, hurting no one knows. In her black pantyhose, Black Viper.